Hello, family. Today, I just want to, I got a couple of different sections I want to cover here. But we are well, we are right where we are supposed to be. And I was going to start off by saying this is what YAH gave me on May the 18th, which was a Thursday. He said, "My mysterious plans for you protect you as a family." In that same session, he says, "Mystery is your cloak of arms." And so we're right where we're supposed to be. We're out of Germany, and we are pushing forward in a mighty way. And so from that, I want to go into probably three very significant, which I think are significant scriptures about the apostle and the prophet. And so Ephesians 2:20 talks about, it says, having been built on the foundation of the apostle and the prophet, and YAHSHUA being the cornerstone. So the apostle and the prophet are the foundation of Yah's nation or of his kingdom, and of course YAHSHUA being the cornerstone. And then another scripture is 1 Corinthians chapter 12, 28. And it says, "And Yah has appointed these in the church: first, apostles; second, prophets; and then third, teachers." And then it goes on to say after that, miracles, etc., etc. So once again, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, 28. "And Yah has appointed these in the church: first, apostles; second, prophets; third, teachers," which your teachers would be the evangelist, the pastor, and the teacher. And after that, the miracles. And so I'm stressing that because now we are in these times when those two foundational bookmarks of Yah's kingdom, the apostle and the prophet, are coming forth to reveal, to enlighten, to direct, to rebuke as we move further into the actual physical Exodus. And then there's one that I like to always read is Galatians 1:1, when it talks about, Paul says, "Paul, an apostle," he says, "not of men, neither by man, but by YAHSHUA and Yah the Father, who raised YAHSHUA from the dead." And so, in other words, Paul is saying nobody or no organization or no entity called him but Yah and YAHSHUA. And I'm going to contrast that with the actual in the church, in terms of the church building, where you have that of bishops. And once again, and it talks about that of bishops in 1 Timothy chapter 3, verses 2 through 12. And it gives you it says, "Man selects a bishop." I said, man selects a man to be a bishop. So the authority of that, in terms of, I'm going to be straightforward with you, that of the apostle and the prophet are foundational. And that of the Christianity and how it's, this Christianity and all the dynamics of how wrong it is, where I've seen that where people become a pastor, then all of a sudden they become a bishop, and all of a sudden they become an apostle. And that's not biblical. And so for those that say they are a bishop and all, you line that up with the scriptures, and you see that their authority, they almost pretty much are underling to that of the apostle and the prophet. And I just want to make sure we understand that, because right now there's a lot of that of even us who are awakened, they want to lean into a particular pastor, or they want to lean into a particular bishop. And in these end times, you go to the scriptures, the apostle and the prophet are the foundational voices of Yah and Yahshua. And then from there, I want to go into the actual manifesto and say that I think I mentioned just a couple of people who along the way about we are right there in the manifesto, in a part of number 6, number 7, and number 8, where it says number 6 of the manifesto that Yah gave me on February the 8th of 2020, which was a Saturday. And number 6 reads, address the nations regarding their roles in assisting and reestablishing my people to their land. Number 7, warn and forewarn the nations of the consequences of their actions. And number 8, exact punishment to the nations for their disobedience. And so one of the things that Yah said most recently was that he was shortening the time. He was shortening the time, and that of, and one of the timetables was that he said, I've shortened the time for that of beginning to start interacting with the world leaders. And he said pretty much that, and he always does this where he says very, very, very soon. And he's done a couple of things to us over the last 2 weeks where he has shortened some time frames that we thought we were going to be travailing a little bit longer. And so he is shortening the time for the Exodus. And so in that, in the manifesto, so I always say go to the posting of the manifesto and print that out, because it's a guideline of what is getting ready to happen for the Exodus and what Yah is getting ready to do, along with in terms of with the Exodus and all the parameters and things that are going to happen once the actual Exodus, physical Exodus, begins. And then pretty much I just wanted to give that information to you. And then one of the last things here is, let's see here, the manifesto. Okay, and then I guess these are the times to draw closer to Yah and Yahshua. I think one of the things is that you can view the video, grab Yahshua's hand. That's a video in terms of for these times, what should you be doing? Is drawing closer to Yah and Yahshua. And so in that video, my wife explained about how to grab the hand of Yahshua. And then fast and pray. And then in doing that, seek the guidance of Yah for what you need to do during these times. So in these times, it's time to, once again, to draw closer to Yah and Yahshua. And so that of studying, researching, fasting and praying, and reaching out to Yah and Yahshua. And one of the things is that on May the 21st, there was a sister who reached out to us, and she wanted to know, I guess she wanted some direction on what she shall do. She was feeling that she wanted to go to Africa. And so in that, Yah is not directing me to tell any one person to do something. And so that's between you and Yahshua. And so if it's in your spirit where he's saying go to Africa, then obey them. And there was another thing that, and this same sister was, let's see here, something about scouts. And so what happened was that she was asking about, are we going to send teams out or whatever? And so this is and as she was talking to us, this is what Yah said. He said, no, I am not telling / directing people to become scouts for the physical exodus. He said, you, Carl, you shall direct all to every aspect of the physical exodus. He said, you are my 5-star general. And he said, I always use one man to direct all. And so in that, be as it is, I and my wife are the heads in terms of the actual, the Exodus, in terms of meeting with world leaders and that of setting up, however, and God hasn't given us the layout of all the teams that he's going to put into place. And so in that was a good question, and Yah answered that one immediately. And then I just want to go and just one last thing here. And I think this is in terms of just how we've been lied to for over centuries and centuries and centuries. One thing that he got our attention was back in December of 2020 in our worship time. One of the things he said to us, he said, the world is flat. And we went, what? And so he just said, the world is flat. And then what he did is that probably be within a day or so, he led me to a website. And I want to read this website up to you, but we'll post information for you. For like example, there is no such thing as Antarctica being landmass. Antarctica is actually the ice wall that holds in the waters of Earth. So once again, there is no such thing as Antarctica. So along the way, and I go back to that Psalm in 83, the hidden ones who provide the information, disinformation to the world, that of covering up who the true people of the world are, the true nation of Israel is, the flat earth. They can't go, and when in this video, it's a pretty good video. It's by a Christian church, but he led me to this one. And the thing was that you can't go out of the dome. So like for NASA, they never went to the moon. And then also they can't penetrate the dome. And there was no such thing as these planets that they have, all Neptune and all these. This is all made up science. So once again, the Earth is flat. And so we're working that out. We're gonna post this up for you. But it's the actual. You can go to YouTube, and I guess the title of it is Upside Down, World Upside Down, and it's produced by Pillar of Truth Christian Church. So if you go to YouTube and put in the title World Upside Down, and it's produced by Pillar of Truth Christian Church. And then also I will also send you the information about the ice wall. There's another man that has real good videos about the ice wall. So there's a whole lot, and this is just the scratching of the surface of all the misinformation that is out there. So with that, I say we love you.